Such a good feeling to see so many familiar faces, so many of our partners here, and heartening to note that some of you even like me. So that's the ones smiling are the ones who don't, I think. But let's get started. It was interesting when we were having a discussion in the back room that as we speak, the federal cabinet is meeting for jobs and skilling. And that is the topic in which their two respective ministers are participating. I'm delighted and honored to welcome Dr. Professor Anwar Sanusi. He's the Secretary General, Ministry of Manpower. He was a professor himself before this role. And so he knows a lot about education, skilling, and we will hear from him first. His presentation is in Bahasa Indonesia, but he will give the commentary and rundown of it in English. Also very proud to welcome Ibu Siti Azizah. She's the Deputy for Entrepreneurship, Ministry of Cooperatives and SME, Republic of Indonesia. We had the honor to meet earlier with her along with Pa Ilham and Pa Teten Masuki, the Minister, to discuss potential programs by Orbit. So like Sachin said, we'll start with Professor Anwar giving us his presentation, followed by any questions that people have. I would like to keep it engaging. It's an afternoon session, so you can stretch on the spot, you can exercise, and ask as many questions as you can to keep it engaging. And post that, because both of them have limited time, post that we will continue in a focus group discussion on the topic on hand. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you very much, Pak Nalin Singh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat siang dan salam sejahtera untuk kita sekalian. It is my great honors to be here in front of very respective people in here to share about some issue regarding of the aligning skilling with jobs of the future. I think maybe Pak Sachin already make a very good introduction about what the challenge that we are facing, including of Indonesians currently. So actually, I already prepared a very big, I think, very thick materials. Yeah, I thought that I can have a lot of time to discuss with to all of you. However, due to of my maybe conflicting agenda, I have to leave maybe earlier. So that's why if maybe there is anything to have to discuss in the future, my office is not so far from this place. Yeah. So I'm very welcome to welcome to all of you to come to my office to discuss any issue regarding employment in Indonesia. So first of all, I would like to give the description about what the current condition of Indonesian employments. This is about if we talk about the quality of employment in Indonesia. So we know that most of them now is maybe about 80% is low education. They graduated from maybe junior high school to the elementary school. The next is for SMA and SMK is vocational school, and then also is senior high school. And then the rest is maybe from diploma and university, only 11.5%. This is this is of the population structure. Meanwhile, if we look at like labor force, it's also reflected the same condition. So that's why it creates why the productivity in Indonesian labor force is very low. Compared with Asian countries, we are still under the average of Asian countries. Asian countries is 24.6, Indonesia is still 24.4. This is the survey conducted by Asian Productivity Organization. And then the next condition, if we look at about what maybe in terms of the employment, most of Indonesian employment still working as a blue collars. That's the percentage is 60.5. Meanwhile, for the gray collar is 25.9, and then white collar only 13.5. And then most of them are still working in informal sector, and then also most of the employment, they are working on the tertiary sector. So from this condition, we can have like a conclusion that most of Indonesian labor force work in tertiary sector, informal, and then also categorized as blue collars workers. And then if you look at like in terms of employments, unemployment, even though maybe we already know that governments already make a very good achievement to reduce the level of unemployment. Now, according to the current data, August 2023, the unemployment rate in Indonesia is 5.23. So is it close before the COVID-19 condition? Before the COVID-19 condition, the unemployment rate is 5.13. And then this increase jump into the peaks is 7% of Indonesian of unemployment rate, but now is 5.23. But if you look at like in terms of the condition of unemployment, we can say that most of the unemployment occurs or maybe is based on education. Most are graduated from SMA and SMK. So this is a big challenge, I think, because actually, if when government established the SMK vocational school, actually it's the way how to accelerate maybe them to give them the ability, the skill, so in order to have maybe more opportunity in the labor market. However, maybe due to the lot of condition, that's it still contribute the highest contribution to the unemployment. If maybe look at if compare like the urban and then also the village, it's very the data tell that the unemployment in the village is lower than in urban. Is it true? But the problem is, even though the villagers, even the person who are living on the village, they are working, but the income is not sufficient to maybe to use in the daily life. Or in Indonesian terms, we call it masih jauh dari kehidupan layak. So that's why according to World Bank's conclusion, for the villagers, they are still working but still poor. This is the condition of employment. Then next, I would like to give some condition. What the challenges of the labor force or maybe employment in Indonesia? Maybe for once, this is, I think maybe this is a challenges, or maybe this is opportunity, or maybe this is a threat, or maybe challenge. It depends on the way how we look at it. First of all, maybe a lot of people said that Indonesia now is on the golden period because of we are on in terms of productive age is very highest. All close to 70% of Indonesian population are productive age. So that's why many people said that is as a demographic dividend. The condition, according to many scholars, predict that the demographic dividend, it will be happen until 2035. So we still have about 12 years to optimize, or maybe to use this dividend in order maybe to improve, or maybe at least to alleviate from the upper middle income country trap. And then the second is about like the change in maybe IT disruption. A lot of people know maybe talk about a lot of million job will lose. But millions, also millions job is new, is appear. So that's why at least we have to identify what the kind of the new job that will be appears. So, and that's what the kind of skill, what the kind of ability that are really needed in order maybe to fulfill the requirement of the new job. So, and then the third issue regarding also the employment is about industrial relation. There is a flexibility of industrial relation due to most of the employment now is on the Gen Z, and then also Gen Y. So the Gen Z and Gen Y, they have advantage, but also they have disadvantage. One advantage is most of them are we call it as a digital native. They are very talented and then very competent in terms of digital utilization. And then also they have the skill, the ability to speak maybe English as the second language. And but they have also disadvantage. Disadvantage is in terms of the loyalty. They don't have any long-term commitment in the working. So that's why it's maybe in some cases after company, even is on public sector, termasuk di dalam pemerintahan, even in government sector, after we recruited as the employment, while we are working 1 year, they quit. And that's not a view, it's it's a lot of them maybe quit. Why? Because maybe the working condition is not compliant with their needs. So this is also advantage of disadvantage of the current generation is Gen Z, Generation Z. So that's why we are thinking in terms of law creation law. We introduce such like in terms of a payment, not based on the monthly, but it's also based on the working hours payment. This is and then this is also the issue that we are now facing. That especially is the working place is now tend to be maybe is fluid. So when we are under our G20 presidency on employment working group in employment, we discuss a lot regarding of the issue. This is considered as the new world of work. This working is not only on the place that the company exists. They can work from the remote. But while they work from the remote, some conditions that should be discussed. For instance, in terms of labor protection. Because so far labor protection just cover the issue that the worker are working in the company. But while we're working from the distance, they are not yet discussed. And then also the other issue is about how about the people that are working on the platform, a digital platform. This is also the issue that now still undergoing to be discussed. And then of course we are very welcome to have maybe input and suggestion and how to manage the people who are working through the digital platform. So this is why I just give some example. Now, if we look at if we look some of the vacancies, job vacancies, most of them already stated they can work from the remote. This is also the condition that we have to maybe manage. Yeah, and then I said that maybe this is also gig economy, gig workers. And then this is also, I just want to say about what the challenges of the hours employments. Yeah, of course, many people, many companies, when we asking, do you want like the people who are skilled in the digital? Most of them said yes. But the problem is when they recruited the employment, most of the maybe newcomers are is not fulfill what the company requires. Most of them, they are still in terms of the capacity, in terms of ability, is still very macro. They don't maybe, and then it's not so, it's too theoretical. And then also maybe it's not down to earth. And then sometimes they asking also very high remuneration. This is why it happened. Because most of them that we check, Of course, they attending such like maybe, for instance, is attending for like a digital skill. But when we check like what the kind of digital skill, most of them are not really fit with the company or the factory requirement. And then this is some maybe issue that's I think maybe what maybe actually next is what the government do regarding of the condition. So we look at if maybe what the government do is, of course, maybe we have to improve. We have to we have to the skill, the competence of our employment. One issue that actually that I'm working so maybe as a government employee almost close to 30 years. I think when I observe in working as a government sector, the problem of like ego sectoral or maybe parochialism is maybe as coordination is the problem. Including also is how to improve, how to manage the human capital. You know, that's if we look at in Indonesia, it's very different. If we look at maybe like educational vocation is under the Ministry of Education. If we talk about educational training under the Ministry of Manpower or Ministry of Ketenagakerjaan. So that's why government look at we have to make it. We have to these two institutions is very close, and then also hand to hand the coordination should be improved. So just we issue this the Perpres number 68 2022 regarding revitalization, pendidikan, vokasi, and also pelatihan vokasi. This is maybe actually if we talk about like what the vocational training in Indonesia, that's a lot. If all maybe all of institution working actually is very enough to give the opportunity for all like employee to attending for the training, but the condition is still far that we expected. Like for instance, maybe we have 289 PLK vocational training institution owned by the government. Maybe if you look at maybe owned by the central government still working well. But if you or maybe if owned by the local government, province, and then also district, is still far with our expectation. For instance, they are maybe vocational training in computer. If you look at the computer condition is still is out of date. Yeah, this is maybe some condition that of course maybe we want. That's one of the issue. If we would like to as Mr. Sachin mentioned, that is maybe we want to accelerate the competence of education. One way is through the vocational training. But the problem of vocational training in terms of facility is still quite far with our expectation. So that's why we need maybe to enhance. This is I mentioned already, Mr. Sachin that's mentioned about what actually advantage for the vocational training that is. But yeah, we have to do a lot. Yeah, thank you. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anwar. You made some points that resonates well with this audience. We have had very good interactions with your ministry, and they have been very open to partnerships and ideas, including through USAID and AWS. You mentioned about loyalty of the workforce today, but that is also a social issue today. There's no loyalty in friendships and relationships also. It doesn't seem to last long enough. I'm married for 28 years and probably an exception in my group. Earlier this morning, we had Pagita Viravan here, and he was talking about how Indonesia can actually take its place in the global workforce because of its demographic dividend and because AI makes it more possible today. One of the points he made was, today Indonesia has about 10 million English speakers. Unfortunately or fortunately, the language of international trade is English. And Indonesians need to get to about 100 million English speakers for them to really participate. That's one. And related to that is this work from home and gig economy issue. That means people work across boundaries, across countries. That amplifies the language issue. Is there something or some thinking behind that by the ministry, or is that with the Ministry of Education?
I think maybe for like the issue that Mr. Nalin mentioned, actually that's both of the ministries that we have to concern about this issue. But maybe if we talks about like the function, the duties and function, of course maybe like the ability in the foreign language, English, and no, not only English, maybe the other language. For instance, is if we look at the demand from the as of foreign workers is from Japan, yeah, is no also the demand is very high, so they need also the soft competence is in the foreign language. But for our duty is language just for maybe for the works, yeah. This is our duties, our responsibility. So that's why some of our vocational training institution, we also trains the candidate for the especially the foreign as a PMI, pekerja migran Indonesia, Indonesian migrant workers, is the foreign language. It is maybe as in English, or maybe in Korean, or maybe in China. China is a view, maybe is Arabic, and then also is Japan.
Thank you, Pa Anwar. The other issue that you brought up, which I know concerns all of us here, that the young people are educated, they have a certificate, they are digital native, but they are not employable. They are not job ready. One of the reasons also is that all the education that is being done for industries which are not hiring today. So you teach them automotive engineering, automobile companies are already fully staffed. Jobs are being created in other industries, cloud, AI, etc. Is there some thinking by the Ministry of Manpower to pivot the BLCAs to teach these kind of subjects versus traditional subjects?
Yes, thank you, Pak Nelins. That's now, as we have actually, that's FKLPI, Forum Komunikasi Lembaga Pelatihan dan Industri, Industrial and Vocational Training Forum Communication Forums. This is as like the forum that maybe actually that can be used as the way communication from the industrial and then also industrial words to our training. So that's why maybe the case that you already mentioned, very high talented and then very good in the skill in the foreign language, but is not employed. Why? Sometimes maybe like the skill are not fully fit with the candidate. So Pak Nelins, and then also ladies and gentlemen, that's we know we still have the problem that we call it as mismatch. Either it's horizontal mismatch or maybe it's vertical mismatch. So that is why we always we in the Ministry of Education and on Ministry of Manpower, we have the forum with the university in Indonesia. We call it as Forum Komunikasi Perguruan Tinggi untuk Ketenagakerjaan. This is such as forum to give the input to regarding what the employment demand that now is maybe as a demand from the industrial side. So we give to the university, and then also we have such a cooperation. When maybe the student graduate from the university, they are not maybe have a certificate ijazah, but they have also certificate of the competence. From where the certificate competence is get? Is from the some vocational training that owned by the government.
Thank you, Pa Anwar. Is there any questions from the audience? We can take a few. You can pass the mic if you can raise your hand if you have a question.
I thought it's clear.
I think you answered all the questions, Pa. Anybody? Yes, Esther.
Bahasa Indonesia tuh. I'm Esther from USA. So thank you. You mentioned about the access provided by the Ministry of Manpower through what's called community or vocational training centers. We are USAID is supporting that, but my question is, this kind of centers is actually situated in a city centers, which will be hardly accessible to youth, vulnerable youth, who are mostly residing far from the city centers. So what is the kind of approach to make this youth able to participate equally with their counterpart from the urban areas?
Thank you very much, okay. Ibu Esther ya, for your question. So actually, instead of the vocational training on by the government, Ministry of Manpower also introduced such a program. We call it as community-based vocational training. Yeah, community-based vocational training is on by the mostly is religions institution. For instance, maybe is Islamic religion institution pesantren, or maybe wihara, or maybe is the like Christian institution. That's they said most of them are located on the rural areas. So this is the way for us to enhance our services in terms of the vocational training. Currently, there are about 573 community-based vocational training in Indonesia. Or Indonesian name, the name is Balai Latihan Kerja Komunitas, Ibu.
Thank you, Pak Anwar. Thank you very much for your presentation and taking our questions. I will move to Ibu Azizah. Oh, there's one more. Yes, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, Pa. So my question was with skilling, narrow skill focused training, do you think that it may lead to a lack of adaptability in sectors such as fintech or AI that are rapidly changing?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That's for your question. This is also the problem. If we call it like maybe we talks about like green economics, or maybe it's like new future of jobs. This is also some of the community they are still maybe need to affirms, yeah. So that's the people who are living maybe on the villages, the people are maybe living on the remote area. In maybe in Indonesia term we call it A3T, yeah. Is in frontiers, backwards, and then also is disadvantage, yeah. So of course maybe in order to give a chance for them, yeah, for them to have an access for the vocational trainings, ours we introduce instead of a community-based vocational training. We have also our training institution. We introduce such, we call it as mobile training unit. So this is the way to maybe to of course maybe to give accelerate the training education in terms of the new or maybe in terms of the future's job. That's thank you.
Thank you, Pak Anwar. We have a question from Pak Ferry. He's the Managing Director of Accenture in Semarang.
Selamat siang, Pak. Okay. I'm Indonesian, Pak. So, tapi kita pakai bahasa Inggris. Okay. I think my question is this: like based on the experience, I think I have also some short discussion with Pak Nalin as well. What we hire for the industries, and I think you show the data as well that like the Gen Z, they only probably 1 year, 2 years they left, right? So when actually we take a look, it's actually related to the character and attitude, Pak. So really my question is, from the government, is there any initiative to make, or I would say to make this attitude and character building as a really mandatory in school, or I don't know, probably as early as the earliest age. I know some of them is to the family, but school is take a long time. When actually they take from the primary school until universities, right? So yeah, that's my questions basically.
Fairy, I agree. I think maybe your question is our challenge. Yeah. So we need to solve together about this current condition. Of course, maybe if we could make benchmarks the education system or maybe vocational training system from maybe to other countries, maybe we can take what a benefit that we can adopt. I agree, maybe since the beginning, if we talk about the education, of course, maybe we first of all we have to build the characters, not only maybe to make them very diligent, very clever, no, but they have a very good characters. But as I mentioned, it's about the Gen Z. This is, I think, is the common cases, Pak. While maybe we are recruiting, that's I talk with the human resource development committee, or maybe as a director. Most of them maybe now is quite headache, Pak, because we recruited with, it's a lot of money we spend in order to get one candidate. After we recruited, they quit. So I think maybe the loyalty is our problem. So maybe it's agree. Maybe even though, Pak, if I just maybe reflect my experience as a government employee sebagai PNS, Pak. As a PNS, maybe is in the first year we only get 80% of our salary, but we are very loyal. Why? Maybe because since beginning we are doctrined with maybe the national interest. Maybe in some cases we can adopt the system for maybe new employers. But maybe also is the way how to communication. I think maybe we have to change, because in the previous maybe the relation between boss and his staff is look like it's just direction. But now I think we cannot exist a lot longer. We have to maybe two-way communication between boss and the staff, because they are not the follower, but they are to be sparring partner. Thank you.
Nowadays, the employees are more bossy than the boss.
Yes, that's right.
Thank you. On that note, Anwar, thank you very much. We are completely out of time. Ibu Azizah has a hard stop, and I would like to move to her, and we'll continue our dialogue after that. Floor is yours, Ibu Azizah.
Before Azizah, I'm so sorry I have to leave. Yeah. Thank you very much, Bapak.
The floor is yours, Ibu Azizah.
Okay, thank you, Pak Nalin. So first of all, I would like to deliver our apologize as the Minister of Cooperative and SME has other agenda. So he asked me to deliver the keynote as well as the presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I'm delighted to address the influential thinkers, entrepreneurs, and key stakeholders in Indonesia economic landscape at the 10th Annual Indonesia Economic Forum. This forum marks an important occasion aligned with the strategic outcomes of the G20 and Asian Summit. This event serves as a dynamic platform to discuss a highly relevant topic, the profound impact of digitalization on Indonesia economy. As time progresses, rapid changes in technology and digitalization have transformed the way we work, interact, and conduct business. This is an unavoidable reality, and we must prepare to face it. We all recognize that the cooperative and small and medium-sized enterprise form the backbone . form the backbone of Indonesia economy. They create jobs, contribute to economic growth, and play a crucial role in social development in this area. In this area dominated by digitalization, we hold a crucial responsibility to sustain the growth and relevance of these sectors. In that light, embracing digitalization across the entire value chain, from upstream to downstream, is imperative to shaping a new economy. Like research into the application of IoT in the development of high-quality domestic commodities can strengthen downstream strategies. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2023, the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs has 7 priority programs. One is a data collection of SMEs through direct survey. The second one is factory sharing. The third one is modern cooperative. The fourth is elimination of extreme poverty and redesign of integrated business service center SMEs and SME packaging house service. And the last one is national entrepreneurship development. So if we look further, this 7 priority program will be greatly helped by the maximum use of digital technology by cooperative and SMEs. Small and medium-sized enterprises in Indonesia have demonstrated remarkable growth, expanding beyond conventional industries and venturing into innovative fields like creative industry, waste management, renewable energy, and more. This dynamic transformation not only signifies positive progress, but also highlights the critical need to align skill with the requirements of future jobs. As SMEs navigate the evolving landscape of digitalization and innovation, there is a pressing need to equip their workforce with the requisite skills, ensuring they remain adaptable and competitive in shaping the future of employment. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Minister of Cooperative and SMEs of Republic Indonesia, my role is to oversee policies and initiatives that support the growth of these sectors. The primary challenges is to ensure that our human resource possess the necessary skill to succeed in the digital economy. To address this challenge, the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs has developed a strategy to increase the number of innovation-driven enterprises with strong founder mindset, capable of creating better and more innovative employment opportunity in the future. I'm confident that the collaboration, innovative ideas, and critical thinking that will emerge from this forum will help shape a better direction for the cooperative and SME sector in Indonesia. Together, we will work toward achieving this goal. We are committed to collaborate with the stakeholders to ensure that all SMEs have the opportunity to succeed in the digital economy. Let's collectively create a bright and inclusive future for the Indonesia economy. Thank you, Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs, Teten Mas Duki. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me give you some ideas on how we develop entrepreneur and digital industry in Indonesia. So basically, today we have about 64%, 64 million SMEs in Indonesia, which is, if you look at this chart, most of them, or 96% is on the micro, with 2 billion, asset, and we only have very small in small, medium, and big companies. So look at this number of SMEs, 97%. In Indonesia, creating job creation is by SMEs. So if we look at okay, it's okay. So if you look at the detail, 99% of the business population is actually SMEs in Indonesia. And we are contributing about 60% of the GDP and 97% of labor workforce and 14% contribute to export. So there is a majority of SMEs, mostly they are on the wholesale and retail in F&B sector. So there is a challenge for us how to strengthen their capability on innovation or for innovation. So if you look at this one, so we can say that in the natural resources, that what we are good at actually, and then how the low skill labor, and then how we play on the factor driven and economics, and how we can drive to the efficiency. So unfortunately we are not that good on that part, so that's why we know that this is a challenge for us, so we need to expand more, how to enhance the access, and then how to foster use and innovation, and then the third one, how to embrace digital revolution for SMEs, with the fact that currently not all Indonesians having access for internet, for example. And we have about 64 million, which is very huge number. Today, only about 23 million have access to digitalization. And how the transitioning from the natural resources to the service industry. So with all these challenges, we see Indonesia has a very big potential in economy digital. We all agree on that. So in terms of number, we have about 212 million internet users. Are they productive? That's the big question mark. So you can see on the sector, on the e-commerce, transportation and food, and online travel and online media. This is actually four sectors that contribute a lot to the economy digital of Indonesia. So let me give you some ideas on the startup in Indonesia. We are currently having 2 decacorns and then 11 unicorns. So we have about 2,500 startup, which is 20% of them are under us, meaning that we do some incubation process and then mentoring, coaching, just to make sure that they are not go to the that valley, but they are still there on their crucial time, which is mostly about 3 to 5 years after they set up the business. So we are, in terms of startup, we are ranking number 2 in the South Asia startup ecosystem, and we are number 38 in the global. So the total valuation of them is, this is based on 2021 data, about 9.3 billion. So with this, we do agree that we need to do more on the startup. So that's why we are doing some collaboration, partnership, and we see that they need the mentoring, they need the incubation process. That's why we are working with some incubators from the university in Indonesia and accelerators, just that, to help them to either speed up their business, or maybe they want to develop the new one, or they want to scaling up their business. So we also are strengthening the international connectivity for SMEs, and we promote the entrepreneurship and business dynamic. So based on, if I can look back, based on the minister speech, we have 7 programs, priority program in the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs. And if we look at the Digital Economy Framework Agreement, or DEVA, so actually we are looking at the Asian as a whole. So if we look at some of them is already there, like RIS, and then we can pay with the local currency or our currency. And then we know that DEFA also aims to deepen the existing digital economy cooperation, and the element to be included is one, market access, and rule and regulation, and facilitation. So I believe this is it's also important for us to also go deeper on the what is the 7 priority program of the Ministry of Cooperative and SMEs, and then 7 aspects that digitalization currently happening. So on the 7 priority programs is already in the note by the minister, and digitalization is very important for us, because now we we are having some challenges on some part where it's quite challenges for us to ask them to go onboarding digital. So that's why we keep looking at the 7 that we are not really happy with. They are very good in e-commerce, but they are not very good in the production. So that's why the 7 aspect that we are looking for since last year. One is digitalization to market access to market, and then how they use a digital platform to monitor the quality of product, and then access to financing. This is already happening, and how they do digital in managing their organization and production capacity, and then how they access to the supplier and the supplies with digitalization as well. And last one is the distribution. So I think this will be my last slide. So again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Ibu Azizah. Orbit is very proud to associate with the Ministry for your entrepreneurship program. We have done it in the past. We did the Indonesia Fund Fest, and we have trained entrepreneurs. Before I take questions, and I'll come to you, Samir, first. You mentioned the entrepreneurship ecosystem, 2,500 startups. One of the challenges that I have noticed in working with university startups in Indonesia is all of them have got great infrastructure. They'll have a beautiful building, they'll have a lot of staff, but the number of entrepreneurs is lower than the number of staff. Is there something being done to spur entrepreneurship a little bit more?
Okay, it's a very challenging question, but that's actually what we are doing right now. So since 2021, we are having, we call it the Entrepreneur Development, Entrepreneur Hub, and Entrepreneur Financial Fiesta. So actually this happening in our side. So what we are doing is we are working with university and the incubators, and we do realize that we need to teach them, all the students, as early as we can about entrepreneur. Because today, if we looking at the data, we have about 1.7 million the unemployment, and if say every year they have about 3.5 million what do you call it, the S1, yeah, from university, so graduated from university, then we can only absorb about half of them. So the other half will be adding up the unemployment for the next year. So this is a challenge. That's why we are really understand on it. So we are working with the Ministry of Education to, you know, to develop the either faculty or, you know, at least they have about the faculty on the entrepreneurs. So that's, I hope that's
Thank you, Ibu
answer your
Azizah.
question.
Samir, I'll take that question from you now.
Sure, Nalin. Good afternoon, everyone. My question is more related to the previous session, so don't mind if it is a little, awkward to put it now. But the question was, we were looking at the slides with respect to unemployment rates, right? But as a country, I feel that all developing countries, go through that phase that first we are trying to address the unemployment, and then eventually we get to underemployment or dissatisfied employment, where people are looking for upskilling, or they are not at the level where their aspirations are, right? So all the initiatives that the minister was talking was more about vocational training and how skill centers are there, etc. But for these people who are already part of the workforce, they may not have time or wherewithal to visit these centers or be a part of it. So is there a way through which we are also looking at leveraging digitization or digital skill training, which can be more self-paced, self-based learning, which might be more suitable for such candidates?
I think it's a relevant question because most of your MSME owners are not going to leave their business and go to a classroom. So how do you reach them to upskill them is the question relevant to you.
Okay, so we have several activities right now. So one is definitely we do roadshow. Instead of they are coming to us, we are coming to them. So it can be hybrid, online and offline. And this roadshow is supported by all the platform, digital platform, e-commerce, and other players. So my point here is we are now getting there instead of they are getting us, or if they are everywhere, then they can access to online. The second one is we just set up the new platform. We call it eHub. You can also surfing to our website. So actually, the entrepreneurs or the SMEs can access in any information through this website or through this channel. So we are going to, today we are having the consultant, the mentor through online. So for us, digitalization is a must. So we push them, quote unquote, to also access to that part. So here I'm also, having the one of the department. We are doing access assessment directly to the player, to the SMEs or to the entrepreneur. So, and they are doing coaching, mentoring through online. So at the end of the day, what we hope is they are really, getting ready with the change, and they are using the digitalization as a tools, and they are using it for production. Thank you.
Thank you, Ibu Azizah. I know you have a hard stop, so I'll free you up now. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts and representing the minister. Let's hear a round of applause.
Thank you.